last episode, I talked about social, the incredible social behavior that we experience with these beautiful black people in Tampa. Great club that we went to, then after hour spot, and then us helping each other get out of the mud and everything like that. And it was just so incredible. And then we move to the antisocial behavior. The next day, we go to a day party out in the hood. Trina and some other, has been acts. They came and it was nothing but ghetto. Just ghetto. Women, it was so sad because it was about a 1 to 20 ratio between men and women. Me and my friend, we were by far the best dressed, cleanest looking people there, and I knew all eyes were on us. But you did not see the night before. This is what we call it, and honestly, women have to understand that they set the tone in these places with their attitudes. If their attitudes are right, the whole how we move changes. How the men move changes. We call it when women are choosing. Okay, now if you're single, you can choose. It's fine. Choosing women. It does this when they're at the place. They're like, they're looking around because they don't mind. They're trying to catch eye contact with somebody they may be interested in, or even somebody just to talk to, maybe to come over and buy them a drink or something. It's choosing. That's when that behavior is right. You can see the attitudes of the men change. And they begin looking smart. They get ready. They're looking around. They're like, hey, listen, they getting their money ready. They're getting their credit card. They're checking their bank account, making sure they got money in their credit card because they're about to buy some drinks. And they're about to have a good time. But at this day party, they wasn't choosing. They was just hood and ghetto. And a lot of big women, odd-shaped, terribly shaped women with the tightest clothes you ever want to see on. Looking ratchet, dusty. They look like they used their last, like they sold some of their food stamp and some of their bridge card money to get a little bit of money to come there, like they come on their last dime. And it wasn't that bad, but it was bad enough where you said, man, this is kind of tight, And God bless, I love me a homeboy, but that's kind of like his speed, But I'm just here, but I'm hanging, I'm having a good time, and so it wasn't as good as last night, being the night before, but we were still having a good time, seeing the acts, and they were trying to, and just the vibe is just like it was a chastisement from the stage. Y'all better get up. Y'all better do that. Y'all better show that. Y'all, and it was just a lot of, it was called the Pretty Girl Takeover, but it really should have been called the Ratchet Girl Takeover because it was just nothing but ratchet behavior. It was like a celebration of ratchetness. It's a celebration of mean, black girl, sassy attitude. Shout out to my new mentor, Kevin Samuels, the revolutionary of the gender wars between black men and black women, and Kevin Samuels, and I'm gonna speak on him once I get a chance to put that program together about how he's exposing these black women, their attitudes, and why they've remained single, and why they have such a terrible marriage and relationship rate. And I want to make sure I shout that out to him, and I'll make sure I put some links and stuff in this episode because I want to take credit because he's been an inspiration. But anyway, last episode I was talking about Thomas Sowell. I forgot to get to him, get to the book that I read of his. It's called Black Rednecks and White Liberals. And the premise is he did a bunch of research about how black culture, the black subculture, the ghetto culture, the what people will receive the most authentic black culture, how it was derived. It didn't come from Africa. That he traced it back from the sub-black culture, that ghetto culture was a derivative of the white redneck culture, the white crackers, those southern crackers, the southern, when I say redneck, the how they live, the trailer park type stuff, the old backwoods, backwards behavior, and how that derived from certain parts of Europe. Now we're going back to before the foundation of the United States, and that there was England and Europe, there in middle Central Europe, they were more sophisticated, forward-thinking people, and then you go from the Northern Europe to Southern Europe, they're a little bit more, more agricultural, backwoods, hadn't, more primitive, and so they came over with their attitudes, with their mentality, with their speech patterns and different things like that. And they settled in the South. And most black Americans, black slaves, before they became Americans, settled in the South. And so they picked up a lot of that behavior. And so as the whites begin to become more sophisticated and evolve, they began to understand that redneck cracker culture was actually a hindrance to their progress. And there were some blacks who did the same thing. They broke away from that. The problem is that with Black America, as we took on that redneck culture and turned it into the black ghetto culture, it's not looked upon as something that's holding us back. It's an excuse being made for people to act like that. And that's where I believe it was just incredibly enlightening to understand where these things may come from and to make a correlation. Because when black folks, and black folks like, yeah, I'm a little bit hood. But if I say, hey, man, honestly, you act like a redneck. Oh, ain't no redneck. I'm black. No, you're just a black redneck. Like whites who want to act ghetto, and they like, I'm just hood because I'm just hood. I use the N-word. And then you say, well, you're just being a redneck. I ain't no redneck. You're a real redneck because you ain't even black. You can't even disguise it. And so anyway, those were the type of people that we were around this second day over in Tampa. Just hood. And I'm gonna play this video, and you can see.
I'm finna write this down. I'm gonna take it back. You wanna talk shit? You wanna run your mouth? You want some gangsters at your motherfucking house? We gon' set this bitch out. We gon' set this bitch.
How this girl was just yelling about just inciting anger and dissension and antisocial behavior amongst the group. And you could tell these women, they're coming to these places, they get their weave done, their eyelashes all the way out to here, their drag queen makeup done, their nails, their claws and stuff like that. They fake Fashion Nova clothes and they fake purses and stuff like that. And they come out there and they do not make any relationships and have a good time because they're all in competition because they have antisocial behavior. Instead of getting together, looking at the other girls and say, hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? And why don't you go? Hey, we come over, sit with us or whatever. Girl, you look cute and blah, blah. It's none of that. It's just every female in there, no matter how big and how fat they are, how skinny and how oddly shaped they were, or how fine they were or not fine, they all felt that they were the best looking females there. And that's crazy mentality. Antisocial behavior. Wasn't that many brothers there. We was the only ones, and if me and Starla, that's my, I don't even play no games with that. My homeboy, he did real well talking to people and doing whatever. But even he had issues. And even he had issues with, with talking to these women because they had antisocial behavior. And understanding this is a businessman. This is a clean cut businessman with his own vehicle, he owns his own home. He has one. He doesn't even have he has a son that stays with him that he raises. No baby mama drama because the mama is kind of like out of the picture. Incredibly eligible man. But they can't look at that because they're that antisocial black redneck attitude causes them to look for people that are more like black rednecks that's going to keep them in the same position that put them in the first place. So they have a terrible baby daddy. They end up looking for another terrible baby daddy. They had one dude that was busting upside the head and doing all this type of stuff, sleeping on her couch. And then what happens is they get rid of him and go find the same type of person instead of trying to find someone that can help them progress. But they just, it's the same old thing. And so we finally left that place. Of course, the main star Trina didn't get there until the event was supposed to end. And, that's I haven't been in one of those things in a long time, so I didn't know that was going to happen. If I knew that was going to happen, I would have made a different choice. And so then we go over to see Jeezy. Jeezy was at this club, young Jeezy. Now, we love his music. We love his motivation. We love his style. He just has that, of course, we don't cater to the dope dealing, drug dealing type stuff because that is antisocial and criminal behavior. But we like Jeezy. So we go to this club, and what type of crowd that brung got. The main antisocial, terrible behavior. We were packed in this club. There was nobody smiling except for the people that if they were smiling in the group. No one spoke. No one said hello. No one did anything but sat up there and smoked weed and just high-priced drinks that were double and triple. It was a horrible experience. Packed in this club. Nobody's nice. Nobody's talking to each other. All the women have the rest and be face. My friend looked over. There was these two young ladies sitting on a bar stool. He leans over to them and says something hi to them. This sorry antisocial diva woman did not even look up at him to address him. How do you expect us to progress with that type of behavior? You thought you didn't want to talk to him because you just only wanted to talk to Jeezy? All of y'all in there think you're going to get with Jeezy? Jeezy don't give a goddamn about y'all. Or the dope dealers, or the big ballers that were there. And it was a terrible, terrible experience. I met a few people, some people, we met a couple people from Detroit and the guys, and we talked to them, and but they were a little bit older. If they were under 30, they were a-holes, man. And we have, don't you understand, this is holding you back. You cannot have a good society. You cannot have a place where people want to live and raise children if you have that type of behavior. No one wants to spend their money with you when you act like that. It's something that we have to do. It starts with the mothers and the fathers raising their children to be respectful and to be nice and to be courteous and to be friendly to everybody. And I figure that everybody's a threat to you. It's just ridiculous. It's sad that I will never, ever, and I spent that's about $300 really on that whole event, including drinks and tickets and stuff. I would never, ever, ever spend my money on another event with a hip hop artist. I don't care who it is. I won't even go if you gave me the tickets for free. I'm talking about people from my era. Wu-Tang, because I'm no doggone way, because I know who's going to show up. Not going to deal with y'all. Take my money and run until I can do something to help change this community. And I'm doing all I can right now. I'm starting a little late. I'm doing all I can. I have a nonprofit set up that I'm going to use to help restore and help one community at a time. Neighborhood, square foot, not just some. I'm talking about real help, real change. Hopefully other people can catch on. I gotta do this. This burning in my heart to help us. That's the only thing that motivates me. So again, antisocial behavior. We have to get rid of that. This is Black Ortiz. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.